Really, I'm just gonna, you know, the most badass, the most think about Sherlock Holmes, guy with a pipe. He has his own outfit, uniform, the hat, the overcoat, the fucking that kind of trench coat. You know what I mean? And he's got a cane and a fucking stopwatch, or no, not a pocket watch. And that is like, there's no better life. There just isn't. There's no better life than being Sherlock Holmes, solving mysteries. Thinking on your feet. You have a sidekick, traveling around the world. There just isn't. Sorry. He's so fucking cool. He's one of the coolest guys there are. It's Sherlock Holmes. It is. It really is. Pretty cool guy. I don't have many rants to go on, but I just talk about what I know and what I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Just fun topics, fun stuff to talk about, and really the cool stuff, right? The cool stuff there are to discuss: movies, cartoons, even like breakfast stuff. You know what I mean? Now that I'm thinking about it, breakfast is such a cool event. Ever stay in like a hotel and you got those breakfasts? Maybe there's like eggs and bacon, like actual food, but the fun crap, which isn't really filling or satisfying in any way. It's like the cereals, or maybe the coffee. It's always terrible and really strong, not enough sugar. They also got what's all the other stuff they have? They have juices. They have cereals and milk. They have muffins and bread and different spreads like chocolate or peanut butter, or obviously the classic Philly cream cheese. And it's this big fucking event. And there's just something memorable and, I don't know, very American about it. Where you got all this stuff, maybe with all fruit and stuff, but really people like the spreading shit on toast and the juice, and also the cereals, maybe the coffee, the caffeine there. But that's like, there's something there. There is something there. Just like there's something with Sherlock Holmes, where he's got a cane and a pocket watch, and maybe Watson, the doctor, has a monocle. The guy was so successful that they created a medical drama show after him. What do you think House MD is? You know what I mean? It's weird. It's really odd. But some weird things about these United States, about this country, are fading. These traditions. Although it's sad, it's just, I don't know. It's fascinating. To me, it's not. To me, it's more than that. But to most people, it's interesting. People don't give a shit. Most young people don't really care. Just kind of how it is. But hotels, going to a hotel is like a service. It's a tradition. It's this fucking event. Got your bags, your passport, you check in, you're in your room with your friends. Hey, you wanna fucking check out my room? I'll check out your room. It's fun. It's fucking unbelievable. It really is. Oh boy. Anyway, go to the movies. That's another one. Beer, getting wasted, going to bars. There's nothing more American than that. There's nothing more American than, going to hotels and got breakfast and you're chatting, socializing, going on dates and shit like that. Just having fun. Americans are certainly too nice. That's another one. But no, it's weird. It's certainly weird. I remember as a kid, the 2 or 3 shows I just loved watching were like maybe Tom and Jerry or Scooby Doo that would play a lot of reruns on Cartoon Network. Mr. Bean, sure, but it was really just Crashbox and Three Stooges. Those are 2 shows I really just want to dive into. Crashbox was like a variety kind of animated show where they have a Jamaican guy under the sea, and they have this fat slob on the couch. I think it had something to do with Archie Bunker, All in the Family. It's probably my favorite one. Because to me, my heroes were like Al Bundy, Luther Van Dam from Coach, Bud Bundy from Married to Children. So the people who didn't care, because the people that didn't care were funny, and once they were funny, were comedians. So people that didn't really give a shit, those were the comedians. Those were the funny ones. But the Three Stooges was a show. Oh wait, no, I forgot about Crashbox. There was a detective show. I remember watching Mad TV as well, which was very similar. Very quick, like a sketch show, like not the 9 o'clock news. It was different parts, different kind of style shows. There's a lot of Jamaican Under the Sea. There was like a Jeopardy game where you had to guess like a puzzle, like trivia. It was quick and it kept your attention, which is pretty cool. But the beauty of the Three Stooges, the original, the one with Curly, because they had the one with the replacement. What was his name? Because you had Mo, Larry, and Curly, but the other guy was what was his name? I don't remember. It was I don't remember his name. But he came in before, wasn't funny. They brought in Curly, he was hilarious. And then he died, and they brought that same guy back, whatever his name was. And they were all like Jews. Anyway, but this was the show where, you were just hanging out with your friends. They were the guys who made you laugh. They did dumb things. They were gutsy. They said dumb things. They were always getting in trouble. They were just hilarious. They were funny to watch, but not funny to be with. Funny to be with if you're at a distance. You know what I mean? But if they were your real friends, you wouldn't want to be with them. You'd be getting too much trouble with the police. It's just the way it is. But what was I talking about? I was watching a documentary on the Crimean War, but that's boring. That's not funny. It's not fun. Oh yeah, I was talking about like breakfast and shit. Yeah. Let me think of something fun to talk about. Certainly not like outlets and circuits. That'd be kind of boring. Okay. Okay. I have something quite good. It's, okay. Here's a thought. Why is it the funny guys are always the losers? Why is that? Why is the people who don't give a shit, like Al Bundy or Luther Van Dam, why are they the funny ones? Or even like Bud Bundy? Interesting. But it's not really funny though. Obviously, it's because they don't give a shit. They're ridiculous. They have charm. They have that charm that's something. They just fucking do. They really do. You know what I mean? There's just a way about them. There's a way about a Curly or a Bundy or Luther Van Dam or the guy who was on Taxi, was also in Back to the Future. What was his name? Basically, the guy used to be addicted to drugs. That was on Taxi. What's his name? Christopher? No, I think Christopher Reeve. That's Superman. Not Michael J. Fox. It was actually quite funny on Family Ties. Tom Hanks, when he was on that show, was not funny at all. He's just the most unfunny fuck I've ever. He's just not known for being funny. And I only say that because I just recently saw the pilot for Family Guy, and it's all the flashbacks when Peter's drunk, and then he's watching Philadelphia with Tom Hanks, and there's a scene where Tom Hanks says, "I have AIDS," and then he starts laughing. He's like, it's like, what? Tom Hanks isn't funny. It wasn't even funny on a comedy, in Family Ties. I think it was on season 1. It was like 1982, when AIDS first hit, which is ironic because he was in a very famous AIDS movie. I don't know. Like I had a whole show planned where I was gonna watch documentaries about the CIA, really have something to talk about. But that wouldn't have been funny. That wouldn't have been interesting at all. No fucking way. I've just been watching like World War II movies. I just started watching old Sherlock Holmes movies from the 40s. I tried getting into a doc about the Crimean War with Britain and Europe and Russia, and it's like 19th century. It's fucking boring. It is. The only interesting thing that I'm even a little knowledgeable about, that I know even close to nothing about, is comedy. Stand-up comedians and sitcoms or cartoons, maybe movies. The next movie I want to watch is Fist of Fury, like a Bruce Lee movie. Like there's a whole bunch of Godzilla movies I want to watch, but I don't have the time. And I don't say that because I'm busy. I'll just get bored. I'll get so fucking bored from these black and white Godzilla movies. I can watch like half an hour. That's it. I can't watch more than half an hour. Are you fucking mind? Come on. Talk about I miss, but there's so much research. There's so much goddamn research I have to do, and that's boring. I used to do that, but I don't know. As of recently, I've been coming up with like funny bits, sort of. I think I have like 3 or 4 funny things, maybe. I guess I'll just go to a mic and see if it's funny, see if it works. Kind of write it, let's go in different directions, see what works, see what isn't funny. I've been smoking cigars to calm my nerves and shit. Been, looking at Playboys on my phone. Anyway, one of my favorite comics, definitely Gilbert Gottfried. I love Norm, he's hilarious. But Gilbert, not too political, but he was always yelling like Sam Kinison. Always yelling. And closing his eyes in the days where he had a fucking Jufro. Nice black afro. Like he was, I don't know, prior on the early days of the Carson show. It's weird. I don't know. The other day I was on the elevator. And as soon as I walked down, the guy said, what floor? I said, three. Or four. And, a couple seconds later, it went down to three. I got off on three, walked down the hall, and as I was unlocking my door to my apartment, I realized he wasn't being nice. His girlfriend was like scared of me. It was fucking crazy. And I realized, okay, first of all, there's no such thing as being nice. That just doesn't exist. That's blatant. That's like, what was I thinking? What the fuck was I thinking? But she must have been petrified of me, because as I came in, across from me, where they were all the buttons. You know, because depending on what floor you're on, different doors will open on different sides. And that's why he asked. He wasn't being nice, because his girlfriend was fucking petrified of him, probably thinking, get this lunatic away from me. I'm scared. She didn't say petrified. She was not smart. I'm saying, I got like apple stuck like my tooth. I gotta get it out. But that's one of my things I was gonna do. It's not that funny, but it's all about the delivery. I think that's something George Burns said it wasn't really about your content or the joke that makes it so funny. It's the delivery. I think that was 18 again. He did with that weird kid. What was I gonna say? Same thing when I walk down the street. People look at me the wrong way, and I don't know, like I'm Frankenstein or some shit. Maybe because I look autistic or angry. But whenever I wear sunglasses, people not as scared, not as worried. And I don't know. It's nice. I'm not scared. I have to put on a walk when I'm walking down the street, especially because I have terrible posture. I look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and that helps. I'm not walking down the street scared, but then again, I don't want people to fear me. So cash 22 or something. But ambulance. But I don't remember. It's weird. Got Zeppelin stuck in my head. Walking down the highway. Do 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 do. Do do. I forget what the next thing was. I think it was how like cats have infinite amount of lives, and pigeons are kind of the opposite because they die so easily, getting hit by planes, running into super clean windows. Something funny about a pigeon dying. I don't know, because we like cute animals or cute pets, like puppies or kittens. But if it's an ugly bug, we'll squash it. We'll kill it. If it's a caterpillar, no. That'll be a butterfly. But if it's a tarantula or a snake, kill that motherfucker. We don't give a shit. We really don't care at all. No. No shit's given. And it's kind of different with a pigeon. So if it's Like a really cute one, like really fat, can't kill it. But if it's ugly and kind of skinny and maybe, you know, gross looking, then uh, it's alright if it runs into, like if it happens to die, it's okay to laugh, but don't laugh at the thought of it dying too many times. Not good. But you gotta like tie a message to it. Like before text or mail by plane or train or car, obviously car, or boat. You just had like messengers, but also birds. Ever hear the story of Noah's Ark? They time to give the olive branch to the dove. What about a pigeon? You know what I mean? So this thing doesn't know how to fly it because it's like a retarded bird, right? And so you're gonna throw it like a football, and maybe if you throw it high enough and for it's in the air for long enough, it's gonna learn how to fly. But then it hits a window and dies. That's funny. There's something funny about that. You know what I mean? There's just something funny about a bird that just happened to die. Like it wasn't gonna live anyways. It wanted to die. But something funny there. There's also something funny about a guy who isn't afraid of getting lung cancer. He'll smoke, but he's afraid of getting the coronavirus. The rhinovirus, the corona flu. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not afraid of something we know literally everything about, but then you're afraid of something we don't know 99 or 100% about. We know like 98 or 99. Just there's 1% we don't know a lot about. So that's ironic and retarded. It's weird. It really is one of those stupid ironic things. But that's my shit list. Just funny ideas, funny things I thought of, and if you portray them with the right energy and you really sell those points like a fucking salesman, you're good to go. You're set. You don't have too much to worry about. You really don't. Yeah. But one of my favorite movies is called Seconds. Came out in like the mid '60s. Reminded me a lot of Lost, but it's about this guy who wants to get away from it all. He doesn't really like being married. He doesn't really like having kids. It's a very dull lifestyle. I don't know how he gets hooked up with this operation, but he has his buddy do like a surgery on him to make him look younger and to make him look like somebody else, And he lives in the secret society. There was a show about it where there was this mother and her son that leave Seattle to go to this. I think it was called like not Twin Peaks, but like I can't remember what it was called, but maybe Oaks, something, Oaks. But they live in a secret society. They're safe. They're away from regular society. Reminded me of that one X-Files episode where Scully and Mulder are pretending to be married to each other to make a bust about the murders happening in this secret, like perfect neighborhood kind of deal, right? But this movie Seconds, he gets away from it all, falls in love with this girl, but everybody's spying on everybody. It's kind of like that Jim Carrey movie when he's in the Globe. What's that one called? The Truman Show. It's basically the Truman Show, and he doesn't like being in this kind of secret society, and he he escapes. He goes back home. Maybe he's been to some parties with his girl. They pretend to be married to each other or engaged. Um, which is kind of like The Graduate in a way. But he goes back home. His wife doesn't recognize him because it's a totally different actor. It's not him. I remember there's one scene where they're at like a sex party. He's at like a sex party with a girl, very hippie, very LSD, kind of like that weird there was that show that ran for 2 seasons with David Duchovny. It was about Charles Manson. I think it was called like Aquarius or something like that. And uh, oh yeah, he goes back home and he's trying to convince his wife that he's her husband, and she doesn't buy it for a fucking second. She's not having it. It's such utter horseshit. He also has a daughter, but they've moved on. It's kind of like Castaway, where whoever the Tom Hanks character is, wife, has moved on. I think they did a parody of it in Family Guy, where Brian is with Lois, and it's such a fascinating story. This type of story and these ideas, where this guy gets away from it all, and then he wants to get back as soon as he finds out that other thing that he's dreaming about or picturing or imagining is not what it's cracked up to be. It sucks. It's total shit. So that mystery, that possibility that he thought, that he expected, that he hoped. It's like that one scene from Coach when the one about the book deal and lowering the bar or the standard, or Luther says, Hayden, the bar needs to be down here so I can step over it. Because if it's too high, you got to do like a pull up. You can't get over it. But if it's down here, I have no disappointment. One of the funniest fucking scenes in a sitcom ever. But one of these really funny fucking movies. It's a drama. I forget where I saw it. Might have been like one of those free apps like Tubi TV or Get TV or wherever it was. I forget where. But it was a Saul Bass poster. He made the poster for The Shining and Schindler's List, Anatomy of a Murder, the Man with Golden Arm, which Sinatra's movies are terrible. They're really just pieces of shit. He's not a good actor. He's a smart guy, He's got a Carson, but the detective is bad. I didn't watch the whole thing. And the Man with the Golden Arm, it's okay. It's not the greatest piece of cinema. It's not the greatest film, but it definitely doesn't hold up. But it's not bad. One of those like at most it could have a 5 out of 10. It's not dog shit, but it's also not a masterpiece. Not a masterpiece, but not total dog shit. But there's a lot of movies like that just have amazing endings and this amazing progress from beginning to end. As you're watching, you just fall in love with it. Parallax View, Catch 22, Cool Hand Luke, The Sting. There's a bunch of Robert Redford movies that are really fucking good. I don't like the one where he was running for governor or mayor, whatever it was. That one, the candidate, that wasn't good. The Manchurian Candidate, on the other hand, is fucking good. That one with Sinatra, not bad. He did pretty well in that. But what was the other movies I was thinking of? Robert Redford. That's right. There was the one where he was a bookworm for the CIA, and he's on the run, and they're trying to kill him, and they killed everybody else in his unit while he's out getting sandwiches at like some bar or whatever. And he comes back, and everybody's dead. And he's in the telephone booth, and he makes like that code, kind of long distance call to the guy in that big room, like a CIA top notch guy. There's that one. There's this thing, All the President's Men, classic. Saw it in, I don't know, it might have been like 10th grade, 2016. It wasn't bad or anything like that, but it was not one of the greatest movies ever. Like there's a lot of movies like that that are fucking good. A lot of sci-fi shows that predict a lot of things that happen now, very relevant ideas and things like that. Star Wars holds up. The first three are great. And if you thought the sequels were bad, the ones from the 90s, the ones from now are even worse. The show's pretty good, that Boba Fett show with Baby Yoda, that one's pretty good. The Star Trek movies are terrible. The show's great, and then they made the one in the show in the 90s, which people fucking love too. There's a lot of great movies like that you want to go back and watch. They're really good.